Hello everyone, my name is Lamix and I have a face. Today we're going to be going over my top 5 tips for the new Seething Shore Battleground. Now this Battleground started off as a brawl battleground, but now it has James Bondly made its way into the normal battleground list. In this battleground, Azerite nodes spawn at random places on the map. There can be 3 total nodes at one given time. You have to right-click these Azerite nodes and complete a channel to gain 100 points. The first team to reach 1,500 points wins. Sound easy enough, right? Well, where be the problem, you might ask? Well, there's a whole bunch of hordes trying to stop you from collecting the Azerite. Now, without further ado, let's get into my top 5 tips for the Seething Shore Battleground. Now, the first tip is a very basic one, but it's so important, not just in this battleground but in all battlegrounds, and that is to open and check your map constantly. Not only to see what's going on, but to check where new Azerite nodes will spawn. The way we need to think of this is when you're learning how to drive a car, you have to check your rear view mirror every like couple of seconds, 5 seconds let's say. This is the same with using your map in a battleground. You have to check your map every couple of seconds, even during a team fight. This is, I think, one of the main problems that people have, is they tunnel into the fight that they're having and they don't often check the map during a fight to see if a new node spawns, and then they've got to go leave that team fight sometimes and go contest a new node. So check your map constantly. Are you all good? Are you feeling good? Great. Let's get on to tip number 2. The second tip is contest every single node. Try to never let any node go unchallenged, because you can get so many ninja caps, and I've done this 1,000 times. I'll even show you some examples in the footage as I talk right now of how many nodes you can get for free, because people are so locked into their team fighting that they don't check the map during a team fight, and they don't realize that new Azerite nodes have spawned and they don't go break away. So a lot of times you can just get the node for free. It's 100 Azerite points. 100 points, and everybody's happy, money in the bank, more honor for everybody. The second part of contesting every single node is, let's say there's a situation where you're definitely outnumbered. It's just you and there's about 6 enemies trying to get an Azerite node. I would still suggest you go there and try to interrupt them capping the node as much as possible. Use your defensive, use your heals, and use area of effect damage to try to stop all of them from capturing the node. Just stall for as long as possible. Either your teammates will eventually finish capturing a node and then come assist you, or you'll die, but at least you stalled these 6 players and they couldn't go to a new node to capture that. So you're being very efficient, and these 6 people are all being held up just by you. So you're having a big impact on the game just by stalling them. So that's another part of contesting every single node. The third tip is Moonfire spam. No, of course it's not Moonfire spam. It's actually Frostbolt spam, because we all live in an icy world. No, I'm kidding. The third tip is predict new Azerite node spawns and spread out a little. So let's say there's 2 nodes already up and you've got teammates at each node. If you're already not near them, or even if you're near them, you can split and go down south if there's no node currently south, because you can predict that the third node that will appear, because remember 3 nodes will appear at any given time, you can already kind of go down that area and predict, and you wait for another node to spawn. Just a little heads up is when the orb actually comes out of the floor and it's ready to be right clickable, it actually knocks back anyone that's in melee range of it. So sometimes you have to just wait for its animation for it to finish, and then you can right click on it and do the channel and gain yourself 100 Azerite node points. The fourth tip is, at least one person be the annoying guy. Who is the annoying guy, you might ask? Is it the guy just spamming kek, kek, kek? No, it's not that guy. The annoying person is the one person who just tries to cap the node no matter what is happening. There's a team fight all around the node. This one person is the annoying person that just keeps right-clicking the node, right-clicking your node, because sometimes enemies will not notice you even though they are right next to you, because they're so focused on counterspelling the incoming cyclone or polymorph, and they can't see you, they can't notice you, or they're already in the middle of a little fight and just as they want to stop you from capping, once they notice you're capping the node, your teammate just coincidentally stuns them, CCs them, and then they can't stop you even if they wanted to. So a lot of times this works. In the midst of a huge team fight, just one guy be annoying and just keep right clicking the node, and sometimes you'll get it amongst a huge team fight, and that's really good for you. Now for the final tip, tip number 5. If you have a teammate who is capturing the Azerite node, you are then on CC duty. The first person you see, you cyclone them right in the face. You sap them right in the ankle. Blind them in the hemisphere of their shoulder. You don't both have to try to have a contest to see who can capture the Azerite node first. You just want one of you to capture it. So the one person can then break off, and instead of, trying to both right-click the node at the same time, the other person can try and entangle roots an enemy before they get to your teammate, slow them down with some frost spell or whatever, or blind them, CC them, sap them, just CC them away from your person so he can complete the channel and get the 100 Azerite points. And by following all these tips, hopefully we can finally beat the Horde, because the Horde kick our asses almost every single game, and it's quite disgusting. Well, not all the time, sometimes we have our moments, but the Horde, they're quite formidable opponents. Well, those were all of my tips for Seething Shore. Now guys, if you want to learn more about Battlegrounds and how to do better in them and increase your chances of winning, I suggest you watch this video of mine where I give a lot of tips in the Battleground. It's an old video of mine, and looking back at it, it's a very slow-paced video, but there are definitely a lot of great takeaways from it. So check it out if you want to have a better understanding of how casual Battlegrounds go, and even rated Battlegrounds. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, please leave a like, and also be sure to subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content. God damn, I said that fast. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you later.